one of the, we're looking at adding a block of hotel rooms, and the price is based on double occupancy. But I believe the only prompt that comes up is price per person. I would have to show you in context probably, but
yeah, why don't you pull up the,
sure.
or sorry, if you don't mind opening up the.
Yeah, Claire, what we're finding is that we're selling it by the room, the full package price based on double. So it's a whole room, even though it takes two people. So we were just wondering if we can modify that instead of it saying per person, that if it says per room or per cabin.
I thought we changed that.
I mean, it's probably an option. We're just not sure how to do it.
Yeah, let me look. I think someone requested that. I know who requested it. And I think as you pull up the trip, let me take a look at my trip and just see.
Might be familiar with who it was because we do similar stuff.
Well, I know it was Working Without Borders. But let me look at update trip. And second. Oh. Yeah, so you just want to be able to, you don't want it to say per person, you want it to say like per room.
Well, yeah, can we have that option or do we have to pick one or the other?
I think it is an option. Let me double check.
Okay.
And okay, pricing. Pricing section. Yes. Okay. So it is under. Do you have the trip pulled up?
Matthew,
No.
do you have it pulled up?
If so, I'll have you. No, that's okay. If so, I'll have you change it live and we'll just make sure it functions and looks as you want it to.
I can't remember my password. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I can also just share my screen. So let me share mine.
And Claire, can we do it by trip or do we have to either pick one or the other?
Good question. It's by trip.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
So can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't mean to show my entire desktop. There we go. Okay, so I am inside a trip under update trip and settings. And it is under label for package pricing.
Okay. There it is.
So instead of saying per person, it would say per room.
Got it.
Okay. Perfect.
That was easy.
And then, yeah, I know that there's so many fields that even me, sometimes I honestly like still get really hung up on where is, sorry, I showed you like an awful trip page, but not awful, but I didn't create this. I'm just on it. It was one that I could access, but yeah. So per room, this is what you wanted to update, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. All right, so that should fix that.
She can forward it to me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the password?
Yeah, here it comes. Password reset. Here it comes. Oh, shit. Oops. I want to just send it to Matthew. There we go. And that one I don't need. Google. Can you have him fix that maybe? Okay, thank you.
And whatever would be most helpful, if you guys want, again, we could do it on your trip, or I can show you on this trip, like whatever you feel like is going to be most helpful for you. But I find sometimes with learning, if you're hands-on and you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm
You
definitely a
may retain it.
hands-on learner.
Okay, cool. No problem. Take your time.
So, and so now I'm just going to look at, so that field was under,
Update trip
Update trip.
here.
okay, and then
And then under
settings.
settings. Yep. So there's a bunch of different fields and buttons and prompts, and it just takes a minute, more than a minute. It'll take you like a couple trips to get used to where
Yeah.
things live.
Yeah.
But once you get them, you'll move quicker, like especially these. But the best thing to do is just enter in something, even if it's like to test out like a crazy phrase that has nothing to do with your trip or travel, and then just have that public view or registered view, have it pulled open so you can refresh the page and see where it shows up.
Okay.
sorry, I will be right back again.
No problem.
The plumber arrived unannounced at exactly. when we started.
That feels like very South American.
Or they're several days late.
Yeah, or that, exactly. They're never there when you actually need them.
Yeah, right. So Claire, if I'm correct, we have 2 hours of training, I guess, right?
Yeah,
that how that works?
I think that's right. I can look at your,
I think it is. And because I don't have time to really get involved, we may have to pay for some more. Let's just wait and see how things progress. But I feel like Matthew's going to get a really good grasp on it and be able to
Yeah.
teach us all how to use it.
yeah,
quickly.
totally. And you two have, you have separate links for it just because that's the way we do it. If you want to do the self-guided, at least he has that as an option. I'm happy to do more training with you as well. I have plenty of time to, where we can schedule it, even if it's last minute, like, hey, can we jump on the phone tomorrow for 30 minutes or an hour? But that's also a very nice, like, supplement to the one-on-one onboarding.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll leave this pulled open just in case. Were there any questions you had? I know you're not really living in this or doing it, but if there's anything that you can think of just while we're waiting for him, but if not, that's totally fine.
Yeah. The other thing that I was curious about is if we have YouLi do our site and everything. You were going to reach out to Jen, I think.
Wait, I did. Hold on.
And get a ballpark.
And hold on. I did that on Friday. So let me double check on that.
Okay. So where are you at in South America?
I'm in Buenos Aires.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's summertime.
It's summertime. Yeah. It's been really hot and it finally just started cooling off just because it's raining. But this was one of the hottest places on earth last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Like our heat index, it was 111.
Wow.
Yeah. So today, I don't even know, I haven't been outside yet, but I think it's like in the 80s. So I welcome that because, or maybe even high 70s because it's been raining quite a bit. But being from California, I always welcome rain because I know how important it is. And I feel like a lot of people, especially in California, they complain about it instead of realizing its importance. Okay, wait, I sent you that form. That's what I need. So, okay. So sorry, for the website, it starts at 6,000, depending on what you want.
Okay.
But I had sent you a form. Did you fill that out? You might've responded to me.
No, I don't think
You might be able to fill it out while we're on the phone, honestly. My guess is Jen should be able to get you a quote, at least an estimate before doing a consultation pretty quickly once the form's submitted. So just
Right.
when you can.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah, I'm
have it
just
in front
trying
of
to
you?
s-
Otherwise I can send it right here in the chat.
Can you send it for me real quick? Just
Yeah.
email it over to me.
No
I don't know
problem.
what.
No, it's right here.
Okay.
Is the chat okay?
Is the okay? I got it.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
jumping all over the place a little bit here, but do you happen to have any sort of templates that sort of say like, here's the levels of like packages and pricing, like something that I could look at as an example? And the reason I ask is, so we have this takeover of this resort, and I'm not exactly sure how to parse out the different, like, I guess it's packages, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the case.
Like different room options or what is
Yeah,
it?
so there's basically 3 room options.
Okay.
Well, 4.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to kind of figure out what the nomenclature is for. Is it a package? Like, I don't know what I'm really not verbalizing this well, but
No, it's okay. I know what I think I know what you're getting at. I mean, it's whatever fits with your brand. I mean, it's whatever you want to call them. So you could call them rooms, you could call them packages. If it's like a full, to me, this is just me and I'm not a trip planner, but to me, package feels like it's more all inclusive with, meals, boarding, like, a room, food, maybe travel expenses, things like that, but it's up to you.
and that's what these are. So
Packages is probably the right term. And the other thing is too, add in what feels good to you right now. And we can always review it later and see and stir up some ideas and change it, you know what I mean? Or run it by someone, like run it by someone outside of your team, or
yeah,
a traveler that you guys work closely with, and see if it makes sense to them. But I'm also happy to review it.
got it.
I'm usually pretty good at picking up on that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think you can go wrong. The other thing is too, you launch a trip and you see how it goes. You can always make the change it. I mean, I wouldn't make a ton of changes once it goes live, but if you get a lot of questions or confusion, or you get some feedback on it, then change it for the next one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As far as templates go, we don't really have any, and it's tricky because like I can send you trip pages for our clients for the front end, but then packages, you're not really going to see any of those unless you register for the trip.
Yeah.
However, I can probably show you one right now. Let me think.
Yeah, do you have a hotel?
Yeah, we can walk through one because it's not like it's not sensitive information. It's just packages. It's not like I'm showing you traveler data. So would that be helpful?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull open a trip page. Sankara. Okay. All right. All right, so preview as registered. All right, I know I'm not sharing yet. Hold on a second. Just double check. Trying to find a good example. And all right. Huh. I should be able to view this. Okay. Were you able to, in the meantime, while I'm pulling this up, were you able to get your trip pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to walk through the packages?
I think I'm already figuring this out, to be honest. I'm just kind of like looking through. It does make
It's
sense.
pretty simple. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just
So it's like people
click
would
on
choose-
add person and then fill out all the details there.
Mhm. So like
And
they
then
would,
from there, and then from there you add a payment, a manual payment. Do you want to go through adding a manual payment or?
sure.
Okay. So if you want to share your screen with me, and then in the background, I'll pull open a trip and packages.
Okay. So you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So here's where I was talking about, like, I guess each room would be an itinerary item.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah,
like if-
no, I mean, you could add those in as highlights so that people can see them, but I would actually, you're gonna want to add them under the pencil, under pricing, you're gonna add them in as packages. So if you click on the pencil, yep. And then go into pricing.
yeah, so like that's where I added them here. Each one of those.
Yep,
is
so you've got your rooms there, and then if you click on manage and edit, you can then add in photos, videos of the actual rooms, rename them.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah,
and we can load inventory as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. You can say, oh, okay. Exactly. You can say, so here, I wouldn't add them in here under highlights. You can if you want. If you feel like it's helpful and it'll draw them in, you wouldn't do any inventory here. Here, it would just be like highlighting what your options are. If you want, even you can like keep this in here and not delete it, the highlight, and just hide it for now. And again, play with it. Once you get further along with your trip page, see how you like the look of it and make it visible. So don't feel like you need to delete them. If you already have the highlights added in, just leave them.
So
That's
here's
where your
the-
inventory is, exactly. So
So like there's how many here of the Garden View regular? 6.
and are those, so is the garden view, is that room, does it have to have 2 people in? Is it double occupancy?
So that was,
Doesn't have to have two, but some people may want to buy the whole room. So we're going to put the room price as opposed to per
Yep.
person.
Okay, so you want to do,
I'm sorry, I already changed that. I think under, so like if you preview, if you go to itinerary,
there you go.
so it's now it's per room.
Yeah. Okay.
So the total cost should be, is that right? $31.50
I got
per.
you.
Yes, for the room.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So I had changed that.
Think you want to go back to the package? Oh,
I just had that. So under settings or pricing.
pricing.
Yeah. So here's where it's showing the number of people. So is it under each individual? Is it pricing where that little descriptor came up? Or is
Yes,
it
you go
under-
into manage and then edit. What, sorry, what were you looking for?
Oh, I'd added some language in there on
Try settings, Matthew. That was where it was at before.
settings.
Yeah, go to your pencil
Yeah.
and then go to setting.
Oh,
Go to
for like the
settings.
pricing explanation, probably.
Yeah, instead of per person, we changed it to per room, and I think,
There's per room.
yeah, but there was
There's
other
also-
stuff that,
That little note that I had in there that said price is based.
on per person, based on
person.
double occupancy, yeah.
And I think that was under one of the itinerary items, right?
Oh, okay.
I forget where I put that.
Sorry, you're talking about in the actual package?
Yes. Here, I'll show you. So right here.
Okay, price per person is based on double occupancy. Yeah, that should be, if you go back into, click on the pencil, go back into pricing. All of that should live in the actual, sorry, in the actual package. Let's see what else is in there.
Is it here?
Yeah, click on edit one more time.
Oh, I think it's under advanced. There we go.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. This is my next question. Can you just copy? Which is good.
Yep, you can copy packages exactly. Let me see if.
Regular, there's 5. Okay, I'm sorry to sidetrack you. Did you want to do the manual payment thing? We can do that.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so if you go into your manage people tab, I'll just walk you through that real quick. I know you've done it, but manage people. And then you can just click on add a person.
Okay.
And then here you'll add in, all this obvious stuff. Under status, you're going to want to set them as, if they're going, registered, right? Or you might even want to add declined folks in if you want to know who you invited and they declined the trip. And then if they are traveling with someone else, I don't know if we talked about this on the initial call. I don't think we did. You can add them into an invitation group. So if you have 2 people traveling together and you want them to be able to view each other's trip pages, right? So that means if you guys are traveling together, you can view each other's tasks, complete each other's tasks, make payments on behalf of each other, that kind of thing. You would add them into an invitation group. And if you see next to it, there's a video. We also have an article, but there's a video on invitation groups. Something that you should, even if you're not going to do it, I suggest that you play with it, like with that feature, and at least add to fake travelers, create a sandbox trip for yourself. So maybe it's not this trip, but it's a copy of this trip. You create a sandbox where you just play around with it, add fake travelers, add them to an invitation group, see how it shows up. So you might want to, like, if it was a family or a couple, you could put Williams couple or whatever you want to phrase it as. You can also allow your travelers to register in an invitation group. So that means on their registration form, they can state that they're registering more than one person. So when you create your registration form under settings, it's a box that you check. It says, do you want to allow your travelers to register in groups? And the default is that it's unchecked so that they can't, but if you want to allow it, you can check the box. If you want to add them, if you scroll down, there's some other options like adding them to a specific package if they're already, registered and ready to be added into a package. Otherwise, it'll just default to the cheapest one. Adding in a room number if they have a personalized price or personalized travel dates. So if they're different from the actual trip. And then the planner notes, you guys are familiar with those. Those are internal notes for you all on that specific traveler.
Okay.
So if you want to actually, I should have told you this as we're going along, but if you want to actually add a person in, you can delete them later, but just so that we can show how to add a payment.
Okay.
You don't have to fill out all the details, just their name, and I think just a name and an email address should work.
Okay. Is that all I need?
Yeah.
Okay, add. Okay.
All right. So now from here, because I don't think we've reviewed this, so you could view as that traveler. So you could do a few things here. You can view the page as that traveler. So you click there. You can view their, perfect. So this is how they would see their trip page.
Mm-hmm.
They would see. So if you wanted to see, I don't know, if you wanted to see like their view and you wanted to either, you wanted to see all of their tasks that they hadn't completed and you wanted to see it how they saw it, you could open this up. If you want to see a more back-end view of their activity, you can view their trip board. So if you go back into the other page, into the back end.
Just back. Go back.
Well, you opened it up in a separate tab, so you could actually just click manage people, that tab. Yep, perfect. Okay. If you click on that clipboard at the end, it's the traveler's trip board. And this will be more interesting once we like add manual payments and do things like that. But this shows you, so this is a full picture of all of their activity. So you'll see when they've completed a task, when they have a pending payment, things like that. The last email that was sent, so they have never been sent an email because you just manually added them. And there you go. If you want to record a manual payment, if you want to apply a credit, yep, exactly. You can do all that here. You figured it out.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can add one in right now and see what that looks like. Send a confirmation email, which in this case, we don't need to. And then you can label it too. So the label could say, the date of when they first, like not the date when, I don't know, that they like transferred over from, and then your other system or transferred over from spreadsheet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
or that it was a deposit or whatever you want. Yep, exactly. Perfect. So that's how you would add people in. If you ever see this little, I wish I could draw on the screen and you'd see it, but that magic wand, that's their magic link that you can share with them. So if a a traveler messages you and says, I've lost my magic link. I can't get into my trip page, my personalized trip page, which is remember what they click on and they can view their trip page without a password. You just send them their magic link. So it's there in the trip board. It's also under manage people next to their name. You'll see that wand. And then up at the top, that share link, you can also access it there.
Got it. So where does it show the notes that I just added? Like if I wanted to see,
Oh, the planner notes?
Yeah.
Yep, at the top, you can click on, oh, sorry. I hate that you can't draw on these screens. I'm always like clicking with my mouse and you can't, yeah. So there, on the individual. So if you go into their trip board, it should be there. So from John Doe.
Okay, here we go.
Click back into manage people. And then click into his, yep, there you go. So there's planner notes there, or if you click into the trip board, it will be there as well. So that's like a, I don't know, like almost like an abbreviated view of the trip board because the trip board has more details. And if you click on that clipboard on the right there, they'll be there as well.
Got it.
And that's if you want to export details into a CSV.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. That's a little more intuitive, the whole payment stuff, which is good.
Okay. Did you have questions about payments as of now? I know that's probably further along than, I know you're still putting together the trip page, but if you have questions about payments, we can cover them.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to get, let's see, I'm trying to pull open itinerary payment. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you, I said I was going to get a client example, but I wasn't able to retrieve one on the fly. So I'm going to show you a example of our, like one of our trip pages that we use for demos, the packages. So just what it looks like. So, and you all can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So here's the trip. And we call it, so again, you can change these, you can customize the menu. So we call it payment. You can call it packages, you can call it rooms. And here's what ours look like. So it just includes a simple photo. It'll state how many are remaining if you're running low, details on the actual room, and then what's included. So this is the pricing explanation. So and I think there's a default, I think there's like a placeholder text in there. A lot of people do this, what's included, what's not included. Some people put their cancellation policy in there.
Yeah, we would want all of that.
Yeah, so cancellation policy, dietary requirements. Another thing I'll note is that things like cancellation policy, maybe you have a COVID policy, anything that's super important, it's good to put here as well as in your tasks, right? To have people sign off and check off and say, I agree to this. But it's good to have it in multiple spots.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one. And then this one's sold out, but the pricing is the same. The pricing explanation is the same.
Right.
Okay. Anything else for today, guys?
I don't think so, Matthew.
I don't think so. I think those are sort of some of my roadblocks that I had quickly come up against. I didn't want to go too far down the path, like, setting up the packages and whatnot before.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work. So,
Okay. No, that's a good idea. And then I was saying to Chris, you have access to the YOE, to your YOE.
mhm.
I can send you the link if that's helpful, or do you have it?
You can send it again.
Okay. Let me see if I have it right here. Okay, I'll send it again. I have I have it in an email, so I'll send it again to you. And then you'll just want to go into the learning tab. There's a learning tab. It'll be here on the left-hand side. And we utilize the YouLi tasks as, for the self-guided, for the steps for you to walk through. So I think you'll find that helpful. And then if you want to schedule more time, once you get started and start building more, I'm sure you'll have questions, inevitably so. And we can schedule more time to walk through it. And then I recommend that once you feel like, okay, I'm ready for my trip to be reviewed, we do a call, we do a longer call and we walk through it. And if you want, we can almost like role play. I can be the traveler and you can see the whole experience from start to finish.
That would be great.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll make sure you have the YOE. I'll follow up with that. I'll also send the recording of this call as well so that you have it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a good day and I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good, thanks.
All right. You're welcome. Thanks. Bye-bye.